Hello, everybody. David Schuster here. We've just got another reminder that the most dangerous place in America now is between spineless corporate executives and the Trump MAGA mob. ABC Disney, in its bottomless cowardice, has suspended late-night comedy host Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel off the air. The host seen leaving his studio last night after ABC announced it's suspending his long-running late-night show indefinitely.
Kimmel's crime was that he dared to speak plainly about the frothing Trump MAGA cult. Kimmel observed that their reaction to the shooting of Charlie Kirk was not introspection, not grief, but deflection. Literally moments after the echo of gunfire in Utah, the online MAGA hordes were screaming about false flags, Antifa phantoms, or whatever shadowy cabal fits the day's right-wing conspiracy calendar. Kimmel had the gall to call it what it is, a desperate evasion of responsibility by a political movement that is pathologically allergic to facts.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Kimmel told the brutal truth about MAGA reactions, but truth in the age of Trump is a mortal sin. Mockery of Trump is even worse.
There was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. Okay. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
Donald Trump, whose mind often resembles a can of expired chicken fat, demanded blood. Trump's obedient stooge, FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr, barked on cue and threatened ABC's broadcast license as though it were a dog bone in Carr's personal yard.
I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
And so ABC Disney, which is best known for selling the world a mouse in shorts, decided to lower the boom and bow before the gilded wrath of Donald Trump and his pet FCC pitbull, Brendan Carr. One might have thought that Disney brass, having trafficked for decades in fairy tales and talking teapots, would have thicker skins than a grape. But no. At the faintest whiff of controversy, Disney ABC squealed like frightened hogs at the county fair. ABC is not defending morality, decency, or the brand. It is defending only its executives' continued access to their stock options. The whole affair is the spectacle of a multi-billion-dollar entertainment enterprise quaking before the tantrums of a demented demagogue and his lunatic followers. Silencing Kimmel is the corporate equivalent to a self-inflicted lobotomy. ABC might as well replace Kimmel with a 90-minute loop of Mickey Mouse giggling. The intellectual rigor would be the same. The House of Mouse has decided that grown adults must be protected from jokes, lest their tender feelings be bruised. Disney has confused the role of a broadcast network with that of a preschool. And in their cowardly panic, Disney executives have managed to do the one thing their critics have always accused them of, proving that behind the castles, the fireworks, and the choreographed smiles lies a boardroom of humorless corporate drones whose spines have the structural integrity of wet spaghetti. These Disney ABC executives are not guardians or promoters of culture. Rather, they are undertakers, embalming whatever remains of free expression before laying it in a shallow grave marked with a pair of mouse ears. As for the American right, those right-wing nutjobs have always hated comedy because comedy is the one thing they lack: irony. You cannot mock what you do not understand. And MAGA world is a place so utterly devoid of self-awareness that even the simplest jest lands like a hammer on a thin glass window. There's an old saying that the average man does not want to be free, he simply wants to be safe. Well, Disney, in its feckless, mouse-eared timidity, has proven that correct. The company has traded the risk of offense for the certainty of irrelevance. If the goal was to protect their brand, Disney has failed spectacularly. The brand is now clear, a squeaking, self-censoring dumpster fire where laughter goes to die and executives compete to see who can bow the lowest to Donald Trump and his deranged sycophants. Jimmy Kimmel will survive, comedy will survive, but Disney, once a cathedral of imagination, has reduced itself to a bureaucratic monastery of silence, where jokes are sins and laughter is a punishable offense. The mouse has spoken, and it now squeaks with cowardice and appeasement.
Free speech. Your Vice President Vance said that free speech is under attack in the UK. Do you agree with him? And Prime Minister, we saw the dismissal of a very well-known chat show host in America last night, Mr. Kimmel. Is free speech more under attack in Britain or America?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
I look forward to reading your comments about Disney ABC suspending Jimmy Kimmel. In other words, Disney has traded away Mickey Mouse's walking cane for a MAGA leash. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us.